The first thing I do when I create a new blog is I go to this section. I go to the template, pick new template. Now, when I first created my blog, as you did, Google gave us a limited number of templates to pick from. I think Google's in a hurry and they're just saying, all right, quick, pick a template. You can change it later. So just get one now and we'll change it when you're ready. So that's what happened. So I picked the default template, which was Rounders 3. And when I first started, I only had one choice with Rounders. It was only Rounders 3. But look what happens. I can click on Rounders 2, and it completely changes the look of this template. It still has the Rounders format, but it changes the colors. So it's kind of a neat thing. Now, if I want to see what my blog is going to look like in Rounders or Rounders 2, let's try it in Rounders 2. All I have to do is click on Preview Template. Now, it's not going to actually change my template. It's just going to show me how it's going to look different in this particular blog post. Now, that's kind of an interesting thing. I kind of like that too. All right, so you can preview it that way. Let's look at some of the others. Here's Denim. This is an interesting one. Completely different look. It's more squared. Let's preview it and take a look at what that's like. Just very simple, very squared. It just is what it is. So it's kind of another interesting look. Now, there are a couple of things that I want you to notice about the templates, things that are different from one to another. On these top three templates, the header's at the top, the blog post is to the left, and the navigation area or the page elements are generally to the right. Now, one of the other things, along with the color and the layout that changes, in Denim, for example, when I click on Denim, this is a fixed size right here. I think it's 400 pixels wide. But if I were to select the stretch Denim, you notice how that stretches. So the wider a person's screen is, the broader and the wider this area will fill in to fill that area. So what I'd encourage you to do is just look, first of all, do you want header to the top, navigation to the right, blog information to the left? And once you've selected that, then determine, do I want it to stretch or not stretch? All right. Now let's go down and look at some of these others. This is an interesting one. It's got a little picture in the background. This one has the navigation on the left-hand side. This one has the navigation on the left-hand side. I want to show you this real fast. Let's scroll down here to this simple one. It's called Minimal Lefty. And I'm going to go ahead and preview that template. And when I do, notice that the layout, my navigation's to the left. I actually like that. I like that better. It's more of a website look I think people are familiar with. But I've got this little blank area up here with likability marketing in it. Now, it looks very, very simple. But what's so neat about this is you can take a photograph and you can create a photo that's maybe 600 pixels wide by 100 high and drop it behind this text right here. And I showed you how we did that in an earlier video. But that works really well on a template like this. Works much better on this kind of a template than it does, for example, on the Rounders template. So let's get out of there. But I would encourage you to look at all the different templates and see the one that you like the best. And when you're ready, let's go to Mr. Moto here, for example. And I'm going to select Mr. Moto. And instead of previewing it, I'm just going to come up here and say Save Template. So this is actually going to make the full change on my template. So let's do that. It'll take just a minute here. Now keep in mind, if you've made previous changes on another template, changed the colors, changed the fonts, and done all those things, if you have not saved that template and you change it here, you'll have to go through all that work again to get back to that template you had recreated. So make sure before you change your template here, if you've made other changes, you save it first. All right, let's go ahead and view my original blog in Mr. Moto. And here's the look. It's just a very different look. And again, I'm not sure which template I'm going to use yet, but that is how you change your templates. Let's go back to Customize. Let's go back to Template, pick New Template. And I would encourage you, once you find a template you like, stay with it. Because what will happen as you start changing from template to template, particularly after you've developed a bunch of content, things don't always work the way you think they will. Sometimes you'll lose a page element here or a page element there. So it's really important to select your template up front. And if you're going to make changes to a template, make sure you make them to the basic template that you select here. Okay?